Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. It is the Thursday KVJ After the Show podcast. So good to have Virginia back here with us today from New Orleans and a trip there from Mardi Gras.
I hate when I hate when the whole team's not together.
It's tough.
Next time, I want to bring y'all with me. Put you in my little suitcase and make you come.
I'm too fat.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Make you come to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Put your suitcase.
That's going to be an interesting trip.
Why do I got to get in the suitcase?
I'm sorry. I was in your suitcase and your clothes are just stuck together.
Why can't I just go in the car, you dick? Mama's tired today.
I am. I'm sorry. I gotta rally.
You do, huh?
Yeah, I just need to sleep a little bit.
Okay.
I'll be okay tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough. How long does it take for you to recover from going to Mardi Gras? Because it sounded like you kind of laid up a little bit yesterday, right?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday you're driving, but Tuesday, right?
Oh.
You lay up on Tuesday or no?
No, I did not lay up on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
I went hard Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
And then Wednesday, we drove back. So it was just like,
Just the thoughts and the scrambling of the brain.
Trying to put it all together.
Hope I didn't say anything stupid.
And you did. I wasn't there, and I know. I'm a betting man, and you definitely said some stupid shit.
Trying to do all that stuff, yeah.
I just hope that when I did say stuff that was stupid, not too many people heard it. Because there's just so much going on at Mardi Gras. Like, you really don't absorb a lot. It's just kind of like a circus for the mind and the eyes.
Distractions galore.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you've been to Mardi Gras, Kev?
I've never been to Mardi Gras. It's been a while since I've even been to New Orleans. We used to have a radio convention that would be there almost every year, so I would go for that. Love New Orleans, and it's an amazing city. Just if you love bar hopping and partying and good food, it's you can't beat it. And so, unfortunately, I haven't been back for a good long while because the convention doesn't meet there anymore, and so yeah, I haven't been there probably 10 years at least. But I would love to get back to eat. Mardi Gras may be too much for me. It sounds like, you kind of know what's up with that. But yeah, I would like to go for the Jazz Fest they have. They always have great acts there. And I think the Foo Fighters are playing there this year.
They are.
Mm-hmm. So I would love to go for that.
We really do need, we've talked about, since we've been at RMF, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. And people are calling us out. You guys aren't going nowhere. We need to go somewhere as a show.
I agree. I want to do one of those trips where we say, okay, anybody listening can buy into it, and where we set up like the hotel, and we set up like parties, and we set up like functions and things to do, and you can pay, $700 and buy into it, but you get yourself there.
Yeah,
I would love to do it. We've done that down at Key West before.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe we can do one of those. It'd be crazy. Then you could go and see Virginia in all her glory.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Do you think we would get pushback from anybody? Let's say we want to go to the Keys and bring the nation down with us. I'm just using this as an example. Do you think we'd be able to pull that off, or is that going to be something that's not in the cards in your opinion?
No, there's no reason why we couldn't. The question is, will we? So a lot of times those go through the other departments here in the building. So it'd be kind of on them to make all that happen.
If we set it up, we could do it.
Maybe a lot of work.
Lot easier than waiting for them to do it.
I see what you're saying.
It would just be a little bit of work, yes, but we could absolutely set it up on our own and need no one to help us.
I remember back in the day, you did not like. It's not that you hated going out to do shows, but you didn't. It wasn't your favorite to do shows during the morning show out and about. That's not this. Do you still feel that way?
Well, I think it's a little different now. I think the technologies can be better. I think that you can add a little bit of a different element. sometimes when we go out, it takes a lot of things away that you can do. And I would say that probably was when we used to run a lot of phone calls, and we didn't really have that capability. It made it really tough to do that. And phone conversations, having people on the phone, used to be a much bigger part of our show. But now with texting, we could take that with us, and that really wouldn't change. So,
Nobody wants to talk anymore.
yeah, so it was really a different era, and technologically too, it's easier. You can even have remote setups where they have cameras. So that would be, and that was part of. So one was calls, two was we weren't in a place where we would lose KVJ TV, and I didn't want to do that where we were missing out on that. But now, if we can have the video cameras up and the call thing is not that big of a deal, the few calls we'd have on, I think we could coordinate it, make it work. Yeah, I'd be cool with it. I think it would give us a lot of fun stuff. And the thing that'd be great about it now, too, and the other thing that's changed, is social media. It gives us great material for social media. And, all those elements when I didn't like taking the show out. Social media wasn't really a thing. And the other two things that I mentioned. So there were three reasons, but now it's changed because of that.
We always used to have to need somebody like a technical person, too, from the radio station. But now we have Denny's, and Denny's can run circles around anybody in this building technologically. So I feel like he could be our man.
Yeah,
Panda could do all the video stuff.
If Denny's has access of any place, Denny's could always, even if he didn't know the system, he would troubleshoot it and figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be fun. It's just the matter of getting it to happen. But people are starting to get out more now. I think we're ramping over a lot of the fears of the pandemic, and so I think people are starting to timidly start to venture back into that world of what we used to do in 2019.
Everywhere I go, there's traffic galore. People are out.
You're right.
Yeah, I think a majority of people. I think it's rare to find somebody that is still very timid about it and hold up, and those are the people that maybe still need to. But yeah, it was great. I was just even looking at the COVID numbers, and it was like next to nothing for the most part. So,
Gosh, what a weird fucking ride.
Yeah, it was a crazy. I mean, nobody alive today, I don't think has really ever been through anything like that. It was very odd, man. Just everything.
I don't like to talk about Russia. No, I'm just kidding. Politics.
Yeah, oddly enough, we do have emails about that too.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Well, it is. Thing. Look, I mean, it's the biggest story on the planet right now.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to get away from. For me too, I've been really just captivated by it. I think that a lot of people have of what is going on. It's just really unbelievable. I just can't believe that it is happening.
The tone of the emails are what people just giving their opinion on.
Well, no, one of them I think is really good. Catherine had said, I know in the past I've donated to different causes through you all. Will you be participating somehow for the Ukrainian people? I'd like to be a part of it if you are going to collect donations. I love you for all you do. You truly care about people. And yeah, yesterday we had a meeting. They're doing something kind of with our company. It's Hubbard Helps, but there's going to be something where there's going to be a way to help out. We're putting something together right now. So I don't think they have the absolute finishing touches, but it sounds like they're very close to having that ready. So, I would like for us to be active with it because you're like, what can you do? But you're seeing all the refugees. I think there are around 1 million refugees are coming out, people that have been displaced. And, the stories I'd heard, just trying to imagine, there was a mom. Her husband was staying back to fight. She had a 2-year-old and a baby, and she was trying to carry their suitcases. So she had the 2-year-old in one hand, she had a sling for the baby, and she had the suitcases in the other hand. And it was like 17 degrees. And she had to walk 17 miles. So, just imagine that kind of stuff. Those are the stories that are happening. So I think it was just trying to figure out how to be effective and how to help. Because I think a lot of people are like, well, this is so weird. And it's an odd thing that you've got a madman that is doing what he's doing, yet we're all tiptoeing around because you don't want to start World War III. You don't want to make the situation worse. And that's
crazy.
What's so odd about this whole thing that's going on, because typically you're like, all right, send in our troops and blah, blah, blah. But you're like, okay, hey, could you please stop attacking these guys? They don't like it, So that's kind of what's going on. So everybody's got their own thing. And, I saw even like Publix and Total Wine, they've jumped in. They've pulled Russian vodka from the shelves. And so they're trying to hit them that way. And I know a lot of the oligarchs that are out there, they're freezing their assets and trying to make it miserable on them so the people that are around Putin hopefully can put pressure on him. I had even seen that kid who was tracking Elon Musk's jet and putting that up. And Elon Musk is like, dude, I just don't want everybody knowing where I am. It just makes me feel weird. And he said, I'll pay you $5,000 if you stop. Well, the kid has gotten off of Elon Musk, and now he's posting where all these Russian oligarchs' planes are.
Oh.
So that if you want to see where they are, and the thing that's going on is a lot of times they're now closing airspace. Countries are doing that, saying, hey, no Russian planes are flying through America. So if, you wanted to fly, you're Russian and be like, yeah, I'd like to fly from Moscow to New York. Now they're saying, sorry, if you're on a Russian plane, that's not happening. So they're putting more and more of a squeeze on people like that. So if this kid's promoting where they are, then they may say, yeah, you guys aren't flying anywhere. Anywhere you want to go where your vacation homes are, that's awesome. You got a place in Hallandale Beach or in Palm Beach. Yeah, dude, you're not coming here. Like, you need to go and rally people in your country to get Putin and his troops out of Ukraine. So, that'll be interesting to see how that all plays. So as we do find out more, we'll definitely let you know. I did see one story that was rather interesting that had come out today about it. The Arlington Public School District in Virginia suspended a substitute teacher who made comments in support of Russian President Vladimir Putin and his invasion of the Ukraine. He was telling the students why it was a good thing. The teacher made the remarks while he was teaching an 8th grade Spanish class. So the students are like,
8th grade Spanish?
I'm here to learn Spanish. Like, why are you talking about this is awesome that Putin invaded Ukraine?
How do you say suspended in Spanish?
He just couldn't keep it together.
Yeah, well, I
You're
guess
right.
They now have found the teacher previously worked as a reporter for a Russian news agency called Sputnik News.
Oh,
shit.
And so
he's KGB.
Well, this is right outside the Beltway in Arlington, Virginia, Washington, D.C. So he's there dropping Russian propaganda to these students, and they're like, no, dude. And so, yeah, he's gotten the boot and been suspended.
Suspendido.
Yes, suspendido.
Thank you, chat room.
So I thought that was really kind of crazy. So there's a lot of, fascinating stories that are happening like that. That are just kind of even outside of the ones that you're seeing on the news. You missed the clip that we played the other day of the Ukrainian president playing the piano with his dick, Virginia. You're not seeing that on the news.
It was it's a
Yeah,
bit.
it's a bit.
He wasn't really. He used to be a comedian, I guess, and they were doing a shtick and they were showing it, but that was part of his bit.
It's him and another guy, and they're at a piano, and they got their hands up, and the piano's playing, and people are like, "Oh, you're playing with your dick," and it's like, but he had done this 3 years before he's elected president, so that was the kind of skits he would do.
Hey, move the people.
Yeah, hey, it makes me love the guy more.
I heard they're asking everybody who's up to, I think, 60 years old to fight.
Yeah, it is, I think, like 18 to 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're asking them to fight.
So what would happen if that went down here? Let's say something went down here in America and it was going to be a war on the actual ground.
Yeah.
Would they say everyone's got to fight, or would our military? How does that work?
I think it depends. We've never, thankfully, been in that kind of situation. The United States is lucky just because of geography that we're kind of isolated from all that. So we've never really had to fight on our own territory unless it was early on when the British were coming over. That's really the only thing that we've had to do. So, you're going all the way back to 1812 on that. So if it happened today, you just have to see what's going on and how you respond. And they're in a desperate situation. They need anybody they can because they're outnumbered.
I guess that would be my question. Could America ever be in a situation where all of a sudden me, Kevin, Denny's gotta go fucking fight?
The draft.
Yeah. Is that something that could happen? I mean, I know something could happen, but is it really unlikely?
It's very unlikely, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be an insane situation, but after going through the pandemic we just did, hey, never say never.
That's some Red Dawn shit right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
you don't know what is in store after going through what we just went through.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So it's the world's crazy these days.
Kevin was saying that they were both supposed to meet at one point and talk, and what I thought would be neat to look at, who starts that whole thing off. They're supposed to have some, like a week ago, Kevin, they called it off. They were going to have the two heads of whatever.
Well, yeah, they did actually get together and they met. And it wasn't the heads of anybody, but it was representatives from Ukraine and from Russia. And in fact, they're set to meet today for a second round of ceasefire talks.
How does that conversation, how does that start? Does it start like a business meeting at work?
Sup, bruh?
Hey guys, anyone want any coffee?
Probably have a moderator,
croissants?
yeah.
Is there, hey, how's your day? Or does it just go, all right, motherfucker, here's what's going on? Is it?
Right,
I
considering
think
how
you
it
need an
is.
icebreaker. So you let
Yeah.
that dick playing piano guy start the whole thing off.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's going out anywhere.
I don't think that would be a good move.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants.
Yeah, he's laying low.
He's laying low. He's
yeah.
protecting his dick.
No more skits right now.
Yeah, but I asked Kevin to go, is there a mediator? Like you're saying.
I would
someone
think they probably
just
would.
start it
yeah.
off.
They probably at least have somebody to say, yeah. Because
But who picks-
otherwise, if you're Ukraine, you're like, all right, motherfuckers.
But then who picks the mediator? You're not picking I'm picking the mediator. Fuck you. What? I'm curious how it all starts. The initial starting part.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they have some luck in round two. I don't know. We'll see. Who's got a better chance of negotiating something, the Ukrainians and Russians or Major League Baseball and the Players Union?
Man, billionaires fighting against millionaires. People love seeing it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh, baseball's getting trashed so bad.
Is baseball done?
There are some
Might
people
be.
who think it is.
Wow.
It's the first time I'm hearing people going, baseball's in big trouble.
Yeah, it should be because it's a different time. They seem to be stuck in the early 1900s, and they think that they're the shit, and they're not.
But it's one of those situations where almost kind of everyone's a little annoying. Baseball players get paid a fuck ton of money, even when you are not very good. You get a fuck ton of money.
Well, it's just, you look at all of us, and we're dealing with inflation, we're dealing with gas prices, we're dealing with home prices, and these guys are fighting about whether or not they're going to have a third and fourth house.
Yeah, Remy nailed it. Both sides are being stupid because nobody. If you are struggling to pay your rent right now, and you hear a guy bitching about making $900,000 a year, boo fucking who. I get it's all relative to what you bring to the table, but $900,000 to play baseball is a lot of money, even when you're the lower end of that.
Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen. I did see this. This is kind of crazy. You talk about the wealthy, though. They come out with market values of all the different counties, and South Florida is the wealthiest in all of Florida. They say that Palm Beach County's market value exceeded $300 billion for the first time. They say it's an increase of 7%. So I guess all the buildings and whatnot that we have, over $300 billion. Palm Beach is now the number 2 county in the state for taxable value. And that's why it's important. We talked about that's what really hurt New York City is during the pandemic with the regulations they had. People with a lot of money and taxable income were coming to Florida. And so New York City was losing hundreds of millions of dollars in taxable revenue that they would use to improve the city. And now that money is here, and now you look at what's going on with Palm Beach County's market value. It's increasing like crazy. So good and bad. The good is that, hopefully we'll have more taxable income and things we can put back into the county. The bad part is now the median sale price of a home is $526,500 in Palm Beach County.
That's insane.
That's the median sale price of a home.
That is ridiculous.
That's up 25% year over year. Wow. Broward is up 19%. It is about $500,000, and Miami-Dade's at $520,000. So the most expensive county to get a home now is Palm Beach. So, and that's people coming here. New Yorkers, baby.
By the way, yeah, I got that thing you got. Remember you came in here bitching and witching about my fucking taxes and blah blah blah. Wasn't that you about your houses?
My homeowner's insurance dropped me.
Oh, that you got dropped.
Yes.
That's even worse.
I don't have any insurance. I mean, I do, but only till like June.
Yeah. I know.
Adulting.
I know. Mine went up. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, the money you owe went up. Yeah. It fluctuates from year to year because I look at it to see, and it does. It fluctuates based on, what tax increases were voted in.
Yeah, I was used to this one for my mortgage payment. I'm like, all right, cool, January, done. Then all of a sudden, February came around. What the fuck is this shit? It's a Valentine's Day tax?
They only tax the singles.
Yeah, you're right. You laugh. Single people get fucked. Actually, they do.
More than married people.
You're right.
Let's see some other emails that we got here. Viv had said, "Hey, Kev, what did you do as a kid to lose weight? I have a young one that is overweight." The first thing I will tell you for a lot of people when it comes to weight loss, it's desire. And that was just it. That was the number one thing. I wouldn't say that I lost my weight in a good way, but I just was over it. I had nothing that I wanted more in life than to lose the fat that I had.
Because I got really chubby. I was never had a problem with weight until I got into college, and then I was getting pretty fucking chubby, man. And then I got really, really chubby here at the show. I got up to 245, I think was my final. You get to a point where the comments eventually, you got to get, the comments were helping me. It's probably what broke me to get back down to my regular weight. Not wanting to hear all that bullshit.
Yeah.
The tough love, the shaming did work for me.
Prove them wrong.
Yeah, for some people it does work like that. I think it worked for you that way.
Yeah, it did. It did. I didn't like the teasing. I really was like, whoa, okay. And it was a wake up call when that girl made that comment about my weight. And I was like, okay, I don't want that feeling again. So I don't know. I've got a 13-year-old son, and he does not eat healthy food. I would say about 100% of what he eats is not what you consider good food, and it's tough. The only thing is we just have tried not to make it easier for him to get it. And we've tried to cut back on how much of it he's eating. We used to just have endless amounts of, I remember my wife would take
Cookies.
him out. Well, he would get a milkshake and an ice cream cone. And he did put on a little bit of chub there for a while. And, I think he hurt it a bit. He got a little bit ribbed. And so he, I think, made a conscious effort himself that he didn't like those comments. And so he still eats not healthy food, but he's slender now.
Yeah, I'm not justifying shaming people and making them feel bad.
I didn't like
hate
that.
it because it made me feel
It
terrible.
didn't come from me at all.
I'm just saying. Eventually, all that shit made me lose weight. I can't. Fuck this, man.
Well, I think a big part of it, for a lot of us, I know for me personally, if it's there, I'll eat it. So a big part of it is just don't allow it. Don't have it there. Don't have those endless amounts. Because kids, when you put on weight, you will go to the easiest option and the tastiest a lot of times, especially if you're tired, run down, or you've had some cocktails.
Yep.
You're going to go for the garbage. So for me, if you're in my house right now and you're like, I want to eat something, you can't find anything. There's nothing that is going to be bad for you in my house.
I was so poorly educated about food.
Yeah.
Not only with my family, but from my fucking school. Remember the bread, cheese, pizza, diagram of all the health you got to get. I think when we grew up, health was looked at a little bit different. And I think there was a passion and go get some more snacks kind of attitude back then. And then the 90s, people started getting healthy. South Beach diet started coming out. People are like, we're fucking fat, y'all.
Well, the thing that you can start is keep testing out and trying. Get rid of the really fattening, just empty calorie stuff, and try to find maybe some foods that are good. It may not be all the way like what you would a dietitian be like, yeah, have all you want of that, but at least you're starting somewhere. So maybe it's only 75% as tasty, but it's healthier than eating whatever the junk food is that's helping them get overweight.
V. Cavaros's got a great point. I've always struggled with soda, and I usually try to quit it all or nothing, and it always comes back to me. I did it differently this time. It's the best I've ever not drank soda. I did it small. I took all the caffeine out. Then I said, all right, no more dark color sodas. And I just drank Cherry 7-Up. I go, this is your last week with Cherry 7-Up. Enjoy your last round of Cherry 7-Up. And I haven't had soda in quite a while now.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's because I didn't do all or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking drink Cherry 7-Up right now. My mouth fucking needs it.
It's good, but you're right. That is a good way to go. So just try to find maybe those compromises that you can make, meet them in the middle. Because if you're like, it's all gone and it's now wheat bread and broccoli.
I've done it and it sucks.
Yeah.
And you got to be really fucking crazy in the mind to get through it.
Yeah. So don't buy the junk. Buy stuff that they might eat that's considered a little bit healthier.
But we all have to admit, when you can just say, fuck it, I'm going all in and I'm going to have a junky day. I'm going to go and be so bad. I'm going to, that's a fun, freeing feeling, man. I know Kevin doesn't ever do that.
I don't do it anymore as much as I used to because whenever I do, I just feel like crap the next day.
Well, you gotta make sure you're doing it with the food you love.
Right. I think when I do it with cheeseburgers and hot dogs and all that I just feel so blah the next day.
Mm-hmm. No, I try to get into shape, or the best shape I can get into, so I can get out of shape again.
It's just a constant roller coaster.
It is.
Angie had said here, Jaybird, you're talking about eating old stuff. Well, I found a roll of Tums from 1982 on my cabinet. You in, Bird?
I'm in, absolutely. Okay. If we should figure out how to get them, if you want to send them to the station, I can Venmo you money if there's a packaging cost. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so you would do that, huh? Give it a shot?
Well, yeah, we got to entertain the nice people. I don't want to die, obviously, but if I'm only going to get sick or a case of ptomaine, I'm down for that.
I don't think you're going to die. Well, I don't think you're going to get sick.
I drank that 1984 Pepsi back in the day. I did get a little sick, but it wasn't so bad. I could get through the day.
I
did battle through the day.
Talking about the weight thing, I thought this was odd and interesting. People born in the summer or autumn tend to be taller and heavier. And I was born in June. They say it's due to the mothers being exposed to more sunlight typically. The tallest and heaviest people they found as they broke it down are born in June, July, or August, followed by those in the autumn months of September, October, and November.
You ever wonder if sometimes someone's running late and go, we got to get that study out. Just write up some shit. Oh, yeah, if you were born in June, you're taller.
Make some shit up real quick.
Yeah, we would never know.
Kevin will read it.
I think they got to prove everything with stats, how they broke it down. It's got to be peer reviewed. Other people look at it and they say, okay, let's see your work. Like, you actually have to show the numbers on that. And then when it is, then they're like, okay, here's what you got.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I always love to know how they get this kind of stuff. And after they get all that stuff, even with everything they've got together, is it still a great case of being that accurate?
Yeah.
Is it just a theory that looks like a sort of a trend, or?
Yeah. Well, I think, and then you'll see it, and things do contradict each other in another study that comes out. But it's an interesting theory, and I guess it does make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't.
Why it might happen, yeah. I don't know. I wonder if there's, I'd like to see the info on that.
All that stuff, I'm so curious how all that stuff works. I just read another article about how they're projecting what humans are going to look like in 300 or 400 years. And it definitely looks different than what we are right now.
Well, we definitely changed now. I really had that realization. I went to, I think it's the Don Cesar in St. Pete. It's an older hotel. It's kind of like the Breakers, but they haven't really modernized like the Breakers do. They just haven't put in the same, so it kind of has that weird smell, and then there's just some things they haven't done. Getting in the elevator, I was like, why is this elevator so small? And I was asking, and the person said, yeah, well, they built it when people were actually, the average height was lower than what it is now. We're growing bigger and taller, and when it was built, they built it that way because they were just shorter.
One of the things I like to watch at nighttime, it kind of relaxes me. There's all this old footage. I found old footage of 1890. This is real footage, some of the first footage ever. And it's just clips of New York. It's clips of, then they've got 1920 footage, 1910 footage, all this stuff from back in the day. Yeah. And it's so neat to watch what everything looked like and what people looked like. Yeah. And I do see a lot of shorter people in these clips. I'm not sure if it's, if that's how long it took.
Yeah, well, I think that's the kind of stuff you're talking about. Yeah, because a lot of those were built in the early 1900s.
They were shorter, and they all wore those lace-up boots.
Yeah, the other thing, everybody dressed, up until it seems the 40s, everyone dressed to the nines. If you left the house, you were always in slacks and your body was covered. Even
and
if you were out,
layers and layers of stuff.
Yeah, even if you were in Florida, it seemed people were doing that. Mm-hmm. Is that because I think the dressing was... If you were dressed out like that, you wanted to be sort of humble?
Well, I think it was modesty was a bigger thing.
Right.
Religion played a bigger part. If you look, even walking around downtown West Palm Beach, they have some old photos that are up on some of the utility boxes. They do it to make it look better. And yeah, you'll see people from the Breakers are out on Worth Avenue, and they'll have the petticoats on, and the women are covered head to toe. And you're like, gosh, that must have been so hot and miserable.
the other thing I noticed, every woman in the video, they all look so fucking pissed.
Because they have swamp ass.
They probably swamp ass. Yeah, somebody.
Yeah.
They probably can't vote yet.
Well,
They're probably pissed.
and I think society was a way that they would look at women, and you had to be so,
Subservient.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that if you were having fun and smiling, it'd be like, oh, she's a loose woman, and that was the worst thing, and you just ruin your image in society. Nobody want to have anything to do with you.
Reputation.
Yeah,
big
what a
time.
terrible way to be.
Then he tells you about bicycle face, how doctors made up a bicycle face ailment you could get because women were getting their independence and they didn't want women to get on bikes.
That's crazy.
So he said if you get on the bike, your face is going to be all fucked up from the wind and everything.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It is insane. Where we are in society, and I would like to hope. I mean, there's some corrections we got to do, and sometimes we get maybe a little too crazy with some stuff, but it is nice to see it. It feels like we're moving forward. I think, honestly, when it comes back to the Russian thing, invading Ukraine, that's why some people are still like, what the heck's going on? Like, I thought it's been 80 years since World War II. I thought we were all getting better. Like, we are all kinder to each other. We all realize it ain't cool to go in there and do this to these people and act like that.
And I think that's the sad lesson, is that this has been going on since the beginning of time. Yeah. And maybe that's the lesson is I believe I want peace on earth. I do.
Yeah.
Do I think it's possible? No, I don't.
Well, when you still have nations that are run that way, where one person who might turn into a madman can still cause so much death, destruction, discomfort, it is still eye-opening to say, hey, we may think that we're in this place in the world now, but it doesn't take much to go right back. And it's a lesson to say that's why you have to stay on and keep teaching the lesson, because we could easily revert back to ladies in petticoats, in a 10-year span.
Look, World War II was not that long ago.
Yeah. So, but it was out of most of our lifetimes, and that's just it, to say, hey, that kind of crap's still possible, man. So, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yep. Let me see here. Talking about living in a tight atmosphere. We were talking about, is it a sign of a healthy or toxic relationship? Somebody whose husband wanted to be able to have tracking on them and said, hey, look, we're engaged now. Or I think it was their fiance, and said, look, I mean, there should be no secrets. We should be able to do that. And they were just like, yeah, I don't have anything to hide, but I'm just not comfortable with it. And Ryan, she's a female, she emailed us and said, yeah, regarding monitoring location, the argument of, if you trust me, my ex-husband waited until we were married and brought up the phone tracking, and I nonchalantly agreed because I didn't put much thought into it. And I said, sure, why not? Then he started monitoring our Nest cameras and even our Sleep Number bed and our digital scale and other devices. I went from excited thinking that, oh, he'll be home soon, to, oh crap, he'll be home soon. He began to ask more and more questions about my day. And he would say, yeah, I saw that you laid on the bed for 15 minutes around noon today.
Oh, fuck that.
This guy is controlling and dark, and you need to get away.
And that's the exact reason why you don't ever, that's why you don't have people track you, because of that reason right there.
Yeah, and he said everything started slowly, but progressively through our marriage, it just got worse and worse.
Well, even if, okay, let's say someone doesn't think you're cheating, but now they're monitoring you. Go, I thought you were going to take out the trash and you've been on the couch for 10 minutes. Now you're being your life is a police state. Everything you're doing is being monitored. And that's bullshit.
I would take those cameras out of there so quick. He's not going to be monitoring dick.
Well, everyone always thinks because you're cheating. But there's other reasons why everyone needs a room of their own. And I mean that more as an example of just people need to get some time on their own.
And if you're going to give somebody crap for laying in their Sleep Number bed for 15 minutes, just getting a breather, dude, you are a controlling a-hole.
And you're acting like her father.
He said, had I known he would be that way, I never would have married him. He was married once before, and he cheated, and the marriage ended.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah.
We hate him.
So that is kind of interesting. He's ahead of his department, and he's very controlling with stuff.
Well, tell him I'm not a fucking department. You don't get to be the head of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
this has its own head.
That's an interesting thought, though, about if you wind up in that situation that you may be like, oh, what's the big deal? They've got the tracking thing on, for the Find My Phone or whatever. But if they're insistent on that, that just may be the first step.
Well, okay, if I was with somebody and I just doing regular stuff, and I come back to the house, and they go, "So I saw that you were at, the pizza place there. You're there for 10 minutes. You talk to anybody?" I'm feeling kind of on the defense that I did something wrong, and you're taking away that passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's dangerous. I would get away.
Well, they got divorced. They are co-parenting, and she just said, I have so much feeling of freedom now. When I lay down in my bed alone at the end of the day, I'm so happy. I feel comfortable in my own home, my home.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can be in a relationship, but you still have to feel like you have some independence.
Yeah. Stop putting people that are married sometimes, they start to lose their identity. And I don't think you should ever lose that. Just because you're, in jail by law. I'm sorry, did I say jail? I meant
it's in love.
In love by law.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to, lose yourself.
Fascinating story there, Ryan. Thank you very much for the email. You can always send them to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. All right, Virginia, I know you feel like talking about more alcohol.
I definitely, exactly what I need is some Atoll vodka. Oh, I brought some to New Orleans, and my brother-in-law made the nicest cocktails with it.
Oh, yeah?
He paired it with this guava berry liqueur and the vodka and a little bit of 0-calorie soda water.
That's nice of him. I'll tell you who's lucky to have him. Sister.
It was lovely. So, Atoll vodka, it is yummy when you mix it or drink it just on the rocks. Grab some today.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.